Goldilocks Productions provides professional internet, TV, and radio shows in the spiritual and New Age genre.
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Everyone, I am Laura Romeiro, and I am your host today for Angels and Healing Light, and thank you very much for joining me again today. We have a beautiful lineup for you today with the wonderful Joanne Brocas. Joanne is a #1, sorry, bear with me just a second here. Joanne is a #1 author, best-selling author. She is a healer. I'm just so honored to bring her here, but she has been the author of 7 books. They have won awards. Her books are on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, on shelves everywhere, so check them out. Her books are really designed to help and light up people's lives with powerful healing information and spiritual insight. She is also the healing columnist for the Psychic World newspaper and TSOP. She is also the director of spiritual and energy healing education for the ASSMPI, which stands for the American Society for Standards in Mediumship and Psychical Investigation. So what that organization does is it provides credentials for people that pass, for psychics and mediums and healers that have to pass rigorous training, background checks, but you pretty much have to prove yourself in order to become part of that organization. So once that occurs, you're part of that wonderful organization. So thank you very much for joining me this morning, Joanne. I know that you are one of the most passionate people there is about healing. She is also a wonderful teacher, and she teaches people how to heal at a very high spiritual level. Today, Joanne's going to be taking calls to help people overcome health blocks and life blocks from a spiritual and energetic perspective. So good morning, Joanne, and welcome.
Oh, hi. Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. It's so nice to hear you. You are such an accomplished and gifted healer and teacher. I can attest to the things that I've learned from your classes have made a significant difference in my life as well as the lives of others. And so tell my listeners, please, our listeners, how did you get started on this path of guiding and helping others?
Oh, thank you. And I appreciate your kind words. Well, it all started when I was a child, and to cut a long story short, after having psychic experiences and intuitive feelings in childhood, as soon as I could go into the spiritualist church to begin my development at the age of 17, that's when my path started, and that's when I began developing as a medium and a psychic, and not even a healer at that point. I was more interested in mediumship, and I went with that progression for a period of 10 years or so before I started to prefer to do healing, because every time somebody was coming to me for a reading, I used to end up reading their chakras and their aura, and I could perceive where they maybe were being held back in their life, or where they were repeating the same patterns that were keeping them stuck. And my passion began to shift towards healing. So, and then with the angels, they've always been part of my experience. They've always been part of my childhood. They've always been with me. So that was just a natural progression to be encouraged with their divine light to do my healing work for others.
Well, they are amazing. And I'm sorry, I'm just listening to you talk, and I'm just feeling emotional, because the same thing happens to me when you start working with those angels. I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, your life can change in the most beautiful and profound way, and they just help lead you down the most beautiful road and the most beautiful places, and just help you grow and help others, and anything that you need, they're there to help. And they just help make a profound difference in your life. But is we're talking about today, that change can help so many others around the world, in the universe, which is one of the things that Joanne does. So excuse me while I trip over my tongue here. I'm just feeling a little emotional, just feeling the energy. So, goodness. Joanne, you have written not only your healing work and working with angels, you've written seven books now, correct?
Yeah, that's right, because the first two books were with a British publisher, and that's when I was still, in my mediumship cycle, and that's when I wrote Feel the Vibes, which is a psychic and spiritual development book, and when I wrote Psychic Children, about my experiences in childhood, and also about other people's childhood experiences, to help mothers of psychic children who maybe don't understand why their child is having that experience, and especially to help them during the night when they're sleeping and they're having those messages come through, or they're seeing spirits, or they've been frightened of the dark. So those two are my first two books that brought me out into my writing career. And then when I moved to America it's 8 years ago actually, in January, that's when I started with my angel books. And then I was so blessed to be able to have an American publisher, a much bigger publisher, Red Wheel Wiser now, and then my angel books come out. So I've written 3 angel books, and my new book recently is for children, and it's called Elf. So, and that's also mentioning the angels, bringing angelic healing or angelic insight or wisdom, or just touching the children's energy with the angels' assistance.
That's a beautiful thing, because I think that when we're young, many of us are taught about angels, or we learn about them in one way or another. And then as we get older and life takes over and we become teenagers and adults, life takes over and responsibilities. And I think that so many people, including myself, just forget about angels, and or they have a different idea of how accessible they are. Growing up, I just figured I knew everyone had a guardian angel, but I just figured all the angels are somebody you'll meet when you go to heaven. And the truth is so different. It's, they're here now, everywhere, all the time, every minute of every day. And it took a long time for me to be reintroduced to that fact. And one of the things that I do is try to remind people of their angels. And so I think it's wonderful that you are doing this to reinforce and support and teach children so that their life is easier and healthier and happier as they go through all of the myriad challenges. I once asked Archangel Michael for an itinerary, a life itinerary, and he just flatly said no. Come on. I found out about you by some divine guidance, and I discovered your book, The Power of Angels. It talks about angels. You have energetic exercises that help you activate that angel power, and it really, honestly, can tell you that it really got me started on a new direction in my life. It further cemented my relationship with the angels because it taught me so much, and it also gently opened my eyes to the incredible possibilities, including healing with the angels. And so I thank you for all of your effort and your time in doing that. And when you went on to write The Power of Angel Medicine, that is another incredible book that I've used to give to people that have been going through difficult times, whether emotional or physical. And it's like the gift that keeps on giving, because once somebody discovers that there is somebody else that they care about that's going through a hard time, that book gets passed along. So I know that your work is very appreciated, and it's really from the heart.
Oh, thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. And you're such a wonderful healer, especially towards animals and those angels that are helping you with the animal kingdom and the animal world and horses. And, you know, it's a pleasure to connect with your energy. It's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. You know, one of my goals on this show is to talk about and teach about healing, because healing can take place on so many levels and in so many ways. So can you tell us with your spiritual healing, and I want you to tell people in a little bit about your new class coming up, your angel healing class as well. But how you know, what you do is a little bit different. So how does it work?
Now, are you talking about
in a nutshell?
I'm guessing you're talking about distance healing, because I don't see clients anymore physically, so I don't do hands. Well, if I had to, I would, but I don't do hands-on healing because I'm absolutely passionate about the power of prayer. And, encouraging people to pray is one of the important things of my purpose, because they can be helped so much if they discovered how to pray specifically and with a heartfelt intent. And they don't even have to believe sometimes, because I have enough belief for them. I mean, I don't need people to believe. I can help people who are totally skeptical or maybe don't believe in God or don't believe in a higher power. But at the end of the day, the power of prayer is so important to my work, and I've incorporated that in my distance spiritual healing work. So what I do is, if somebody's coming to me for a complaint, let's say they're coming to me for a problem with their knee, so they need, now a lot of people have issues with their knees. So typically when I do look into their knees, so I use either a form of spiritual dowsing, energy testing, or I just connect to the angels. And if I'm, particularly clear, I'll be given information about their knee. And most of the time, not always, but most of the time, there will be an energetic block connected to an emotional issue. So always to do with thoughts as well, limiting thoughts or non-beneficial thoughts or attitudes or belief systems. But typically it's to do with emotional issues. So once I clear the trauma energies and memories and the adverse effects of those that are interfering, causing, or contributing to the problem with that person's knee, then healing is able to flow through and restore optimum flow and function. So the knee recovers. And it can recover if it's been, like it might have been really sore for a year. One gentleman was due for a surgery on his knee, and I cleared emotional trauma concerning his business from his knee. Within 24 hours, all of the pain had left, and he was able to cancel that operation and even go back to playing football, which he'd never been able to play before. So it's mainly to do with emotional traumas and limiting thoughts and beliefs. But there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to it than that. But I'm just talking if it's self-created. There is other, factors and forces involved. But I'm talking if somebody is self-created through their own emotional pain or if it's through their own thoughts.
So, it's something that we all suffer from, life, right? And most of the time, I would say we're probably not deeply aware, unless it's really a traumatic event. And sometimes those things can sneak up and build up over time and start creating issues of, like you say, pain. It can be illness.
Physical pain,
be so many things.
Pain.
So what would you suggest to our listeners how to take care of themselves, perhaps on a daily basis, to not have that buildup of energy that isn't at all beneficial?
Yeah. So, to look after your energy, because we're all living in a world where we're bombarded by other people's energies. So not only do we have ours to contend with, we have everybody else's. So we need to be keeping a certain level of balance in our life. But we've also got challenges which knock us off balance. We have experiences that can cause us to swing up and down in our emotions. So one of the things that is important to do, well, two things I would suggest to do daily. The first and most important one is prayer, and that's prayer to clear you of the day's stresses. When you're going to bed at night, a prayer to clear you of the stresses of the day, of your own emotional traumas, of your worries and fears, and also the big one of other people's energies. So a simple prayer asking to be cleared of the day before you go to sleep at night, but then to be restored with divine harmony, peace, and joy. Or you always want to ask for peace before you go to sleep, because the more peaceful your nervous system is, then your vibration is going to be peaceful, and that's also going to affect your soul. So when you go to sleep, then you'll be able to go on your wonderful soul travels, and you'll be able to go to those places you need to go without being stuck in fear during the sleep period, where your body is then basically in the fight or flight response. And even though you're meant to be repairing and restoring your cellular system, if you go to bed all stressed and unhappy and fearful, then you're not getting that deep sleep that your body needs to regenerate. So I would always say pray first, the last thing at night, and pray first thing in the morning. And when you pray in the morning, you're basically asking to be protected from all forms of non-beneficial energies, interference and harm, and to be empowered with divine love and divine light protection. So it's basically giving you an opportunity to go out there into the world and not be so bombarded by other people's energies, so that there's a boundary, so that you know clearly what's your self-creations, what's your thoughts, what's your fears, what's your anxiety, and then you can deal with that in the present moment. And I have got some great tools to deal with that as well. One of them being, if you find yourself, and it is worse at night, in the early hours of the morning, especially around about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, if you awaken then, your fears are heightened. I mean, everything is still, it's dark, your fears or your doubts or your anxieties, or worrying about your dreams, whether you're ever going to fulfill them or create them. During that time of the night, everything seems to be so desperate and you're in despair. And this is just because you're heightened, you've awakened, and your mind is like focusing on everything that's wrong, not right with your life. So one of the things that is very valuable for you to do at that point is just, it's your mental energy that this is revolved around. So you're basically, and it's really important to do this, and it works, whatever fear you have or whatever thought you have, just address it and then immediately say, delete, delete, delete. And I delete all of the effects too. Because remember, every thought or fear you have that's non-beneficial creates energetic effects. So you're going to delete, 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 and all of the effects too. And then you're going to say, I now bless my mental energy with divine love, peace, and harmony. Because when you do that, when you clear something away, you want to bless it with love. So when you do that, you're actually restoring your mind. And if you have to do that, maybe 20, 30, 40 times a day, you're going to retrain your brain, you're going to retrain your mind to respond less to fear and more to love.
And that also gives someone so much more power over their lives.
Absolutely. They're in control.
You're
in control of any fear. It's absolutely amazing. It's that quick. Delete, 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 and all of its effects. And I bless my mental energy. I bless my mind with divine love, peace, and harmony. You won't believe the power you have. You have divine authority to heal yourself in your life.
And when you talk about, one of the things that you mentioned is that I really like is the fact that you said somebody doesn't have to believe in prayer, doesn't have to believe in God or a higher spiritual power. That's something you can do for them. And I think that is something that is so powerful in when somebody isn't in a condition or state that they can take the very best care of themselves, and that might be from physical or spiritual or emotional. It is so, and I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, from experience, it is so incredibly wonderful to have someone that will step in and do those things for you, just like Joanne does. And so when you're in a state of mind or a state of health that is, blocking you from asking for that help, Joanne can step in and do that for you, and she does that on a long distance basis, a distance healing basis that I can tell you she's had testimonial after testimonial after testimonial. She's had some miraculous results, amazing and miraculous results. So I would like you all to check out her website. It's called JoanneBrocas.com. And on Joanne's website, you will find information about her healing work. You will find articles. You will find prayers. You will find so much information on there because, as I said before, she's very passionate about healing others. She's also very passionate about teaching others to heal. And that goes for animals, too. So her spiritual class, of which I am a student, also teaches on how to help your pets and your animals. So not just your human compatriots, but your furry ones, too. So many times we have loving or pets that we just love, and we don't really know how to help them, but most of them respond very, very well to energetic and spiritual healing. It's absolutely amazing. So please check that out. She also lists there ways to get in touch with her to set up spiritual healing. And you have a really interesting, like packages that are designed. Can you describe those for us?
Yeah, so I offer two kinds of treatments there. One is a spiritual clearing treatment, and one is a distant spiritual healing treatment. And basically the clearing treatment is so wonderful for somebody who's accumulated long-term stress, because they can be stress from the environment you're in, working stress from your colleagues and friends, stress from those who are sick and suffering that you've been around, and then your own self-created stress. And then it can be anything like psychic attack, spiritual interference, geopathic stress. It can be stress from technology. It can be stress from subliminal messages from the media. We're all affected by the energies around us. We're even affected by the Wi-Fi signals from our phones. So, yeah, and then our auras actually respond to this stress and they weaken. And what happens when they weaken, we can feel major fatigue. And then when we weaken again, then we are becoming more irritable, more, we can even, our triggers get more responsive. We can respond to anger. We can get irritated quickly, frustrated. We lack power. When our aura weakens, we lack vibrational power to be able to attract and create what we want in our life at a fulfilling level. So then, for some reason, things can start to resist. We have resistance within our aura. So what we want is pushed further away from us. So spiritual clearing helps to bring us back into harmony and alignment. But it even clears things that can go way back, not only from being in the womb, so from the womb to the present moment, but it can clear things from maybe your past life or your ancestor timeline or genetic inheritance. It's just clearing all of those dysfunctional energies that are interfering with your natural state of being. And on a soul level, it's helping to clear away that stress that's interfering with your specific divine light frequency, so your own attributes, your own abilities, so that you can become more in harmony with love, truth, compassion, wisdom. So it's clearing you on that level. So spiritual clearing is invaluable too. It also helps you to be able to speed up that frequency so that your immune system is working for you and not against you. And when your immune system is empowered, you're going to stay well for longer periods of time. So somebody might be catching a cold in your office and your immune system is strong because you have less resistance in your aura, and you're going to be staying well So it's like when our aura's weak, we're more susceptible to viruses and bacterial infections, as well as then lowering our vibration to the point where we seem to get stuck in that state of mind or an emotion that seems harder to shift only because we're low in energy. So it can definitely help you to, and regular clearance is what most of my clients have. And it really does help them to feel uplifted or to feel more energized or to feel more vital and clear-minded for longer periods of time, and also helps with sleep too. And then the spiritual healing, the distant spiritual healing, is more concerned, and it always includes the clearing, the healings too, but this is more concerned with people who have health issues or persistent health issues, chronic health issues that the medical world has not been able to maybe address or help or relieve. So they still persist in these issues are, which means typically it's usually an energetic or spiritual problem. And that's where spiritual healing is good at. It means they've gone to the doctors, they've tried everything, and so far they're still in this issue. So there's a blockage there. So it's going to be on a spiritual or energetic level somewhere. And the spiritual healing treatments address any health issue, but from a spiritual and energetic perspective, because we're not doctors. Well, most of us are not doctors, and we're not licensed to diagnose. So when you're working on a spiritual and energetic level, then you're just helping with the energies behind the problem, and you're helping to alleviate the symptoms.
So when someone schedules an appointment with you, let's say, how long does a healing treatment take, and what is required of your client?
Okay, so if somebody's booking in, so typically now I've usually got like a week's waiting list. So when somebody makes the appointment online, that's the Tuesday appointment. But at this moment, because of the Christmas period, I've got a 2-week list, so it's not going to be until February before I can reach those new clients. So typically what happens, they get an email to say that your appointment is booked. And then all they need to do on the day is nothing other than keep themselves hydrated, because during the night when they sleep is the time when they're probably going to process that healing, which I always say, allow a period of 24 to 48 hours. Most clients have instant healings within that period. A lot of people who have severe or chronic health issues definitely require more than one distance healing treatment, because they don't get into that trouble with their health overnight. So one healing is not going to typically fix it unless, like you said, unless it's not their issue. Because I had the other day, I had a great client healing from India, and the arthritis that he's experienced, chronic long-term, was not his. So I'm clearing an earthbound spirit from him who had the condition of arthritis while still in the physical body, and helping that spirit to the light. The conditions of arthritis left that man, but that's not always the case. That's just like I say, most of the time for chronic long-term issues, they do require more than one treatment. But then you get the surprising ones, like that person who had the knee issue and he had a problem for a year and was on like a waiting list, because in the UK you've got to wait for your operations, not like out here where you can have it done pretty quick. So a long 1 year period, but then like I said, it was an emotional and energetic issue. And once that was cleared and he was willing to let go spiritually, because I spoke to his soul, then he healed within 24 hours. So I am amazed a lot of the time myself. Even though I know it's the angels and God doing it, I still get like, wow, when they heal the next day, you know, a lot of people heal within 24 hours. But what happens then, they always get a spiritual healing report from me. So what I do that night, and if they're in the UK, they receive it the next day. They get a report of what I did for them, and then basically any affirmations or prayers that can help them with what we've specifically been working on. So then they notice the results in their life, and they can see tangible results, which they end up booking then clearing treatment for their family. There's some amazing clients I have in New York and New Jersey. I do the whole family clearing treatment every month, because they've noticed the difference in their children, in school. They notice a difference in how their children are responding and how they become more motivated. They can concentrate and focus more. So I do this now for a period of a year, and they've said, looking back from when they first the clearing treatments to now, the whole family have evolved. And evolved in a way where they've all grown closer and there's less stress within their family group.
And you can't buy that kind of thing in a store. I mean, that's something that is incredible and will have long-lasting effects and make everybody's life better and easier. And the spiritual healing it's sort of profoundly simple. I mean, it's a very profound thing, but at its heart, it is. It's a simple process with a profound heart to it, and I wish I could really find the words to describe it. But I know that the passion and care that you put into it is just amazing.
I am totally passionate about it, because even those that may approach me that don't believe, or maybe they don't, they want to believe and yet they don't, or maybe they don't have belief or faith that they could be helped in this way. And like I said, I have enough belief and faith for them. However, what happens is, even if they have just a small beneficial improvement, such as they had a great sleep that night, or maybe they weren't so down emotionally like they usually are, what's happening is those tangible results that they're experiencing is helping to plant a seed that there is something bigger within the universe that they're a part of, that they are not separate from, that God loves them. And when I talk about God, I don't talk about God as like a man on a throne in the sky. I'm talking about God as an ultimate force of goodness, love, and light, from which all the divine light rays of creation emanate, from which the archangels, the angels, emanate from those divine light sparks, as do the Holy Spirit, the Christ-like consciousness. So while I'm not religious, I appreciate the benevolence of the Holy Spirit, the Christ-like consciousness, and the 7 of archangels of divine light. These are the specific frequencies that I work with in every distant spiritual healing treatment that I do.
And can you tell me about your new class? Tell me about your classes, period. You've got a couple, and one of them I'm a very, very happy student of, but you have a new one coming up as well.
Yeah, well, let me tell you. So you've been part of the spiritual healing family. So the Spiritual Healing Foundation course, the Joanne Brocas Spiritual Healing Foundation, which is Spiritual Healing Level 1. And this is a brilliant course in the fact that I was definitely divinely inspired to create this course. I'm passionate about it, and it shows in my writing. And I've not just said that. Nearly every student that's done it has. There's not been one that's disliked it, but I'm saying nearly every student has responded to say how much that course has helped them. Help them to understand the specifics of prayer, how to ask for things specifically, how to bless, how to work with energies, and how to do distant spiritual healing work. So this is the first level. And then the second level goes into more detail, working with trauma energies, and memories originating from past lives or your ancestors, or the genetic inheritance, and karma, non-beneficial soul promises and karmic agreements that we can get entangled into that simply don't serve us when we're on Earth. And then when we can clear those, we automatically have more spiritual freedom and power. So the second course goes more in depth with healing as a practitioner, as well as introducing my husband's work, which is jockbrocas.com, and his work influencing mediumship and working with the ability to protect yourself from non-beneficial forces or spiritual attack or psychic attack. So that's included in the spiritual healing practitioner level 2. And then I absolutely love this one. I don't know whether I'm not sure if you've done this one, Laura, but the spiritual dowsing webinar, working with a pendulum to energy test and clear it's one of my favorites, and it's only 3 1-hour-long videos, 50-minute videos maybe. And there is a manual that goes with it, but the spiritual dowsing, and it's working with a couple of charts too. I'm passionate about that. And the students of Spiritual Healing Level 1 and 2, a lot of those have done this course, which is helping them with their clients to discern the best possible way to clear and heal. And I love that. That's the Spiritual Dowsing webinar. That's available now. And then I'm working on an advanced chakra course, but this is not going to be done yet. This is going to be down the road because I've got writing projects on at the moment. But I'm about to launch next week the Angel Healing online course. And this typically goes into me working with the 7 archangels of divine light. And it can be a course that goes hand in hand with my angel medicine book. However, there's more specifics within the course for the student to connect with the angels, align with the angels, and work with the chakras that the angels are aligned with. So I love this course. It's nearly finished. I'm still working on the final touches to it, and it'll be up next week. And it's helping the students or whoever's drawn to doing it to have that relationship, deepen their relationship with the angels, to be able to heal, to help heal or assist heal within their own life and others from a spiritual and energetic point of view.
It feels like you're just passing the torch to so many people, Joanne. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you that her courses sound like they're very, they're not hard courses. They're not difficult to learn. That's the part I was saying is simple, but it is still profoundly effective in healing. And let me tell you that, disclaimer, this doesn't happen to everybody, but I had some friends and family members in Brazil that reached out to me, someone they knew, a man in, I think, his 30s and had 2 little boys. He had a severe headache, went to the hospital, went into a coma, was diagnosed with a fatal disease, and they said, he's never going to wake up again. So my family in Brazil said, can you please just pray for him and help him with, his transition? Well, I did Joanne's spiritual healing work on him, which was a whole nother fascinating story about what I saw and felt and experienced during that time. But the most important part is he woke up and he went home in time for Christmas and is doing
wow. That gives me chills. That is absolutely outstanding. And I'm just so pleased that you're doing that work out there to help people. That's amazing. And I was shocked.
I was absolutely shocked, but I cried when I heard that. Oh my God, I felt so bad for his little boys, and now he's home with them, and I just cried. Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Here I went with the intention of helping him have a peaceful transition while he transitioned home to his kids and his family. So
that is
I'm telling you,
amazing.
If you want to learn to help others, if you are a healer already. And I'm a Reiki master teacher as well. Her spiritual healing course was really the kind of the missing link for me and added so much more that I just felt was missing, but I couldn't define. And it makes an incredible difference. So if you are wanting to heal, learn how to heal, then if you're already a healer, if your heart is in it, then this is a courses for you, and I can tell you will make an amazing difference in other people's lives as well as your own. So please check them out, and I definitely look forward to that angel class.
Wow,
so, Joanne, are you interested? Are you ready to take a caller? Because I know you are going to talk about ways to remove blocks for some medical and life problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I have our first caller is area code 267. So hello and welcome.
Hello. Thanks for taking my call. I find that all really fascinating. I was listening to the whole thing.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Right. Can we just ask any question?
It's so Joanne's going to talk about removing specific blocks, medical life blocks that are in your way. She's going to help give suggestions on removing those.
Oh, okay. I was thinking more like I don't know, social life stuff like that. Not mental blocks.
Sorry, I can't hear properly. There's a problem with the Can you repeat what she said, please, Laura?
And tell me, what's your name, ma'am?
Oh, my name's Donna.
Hey, Donna. So, Donna, you're having a question about what? Tell me again.
It's just like relationship and stuff going on at home. I'm getting better and everything, but I just been like very depressed the past couple years, and I guess it's because I lost like about 5 people in my life, whether it was 3 were through death, 2 was for a relationship, and I'm finding a hard time. I'm 56, and like where do I go from here? I feel like I'm stuck.
Oh,
okay.
Right. Okay.
Did you hear that? Okay.
Yeah, I did. Thank you, Donna. Okay, so the archangel that you want to work with is Archangel Zadkiel. So if you can hear me, it's Archangel Zadkiel, and this is the angel of the violet light, the divine violet light of God, the frequency of God. And this angel connects with the sacral plexus chakra. This is the area where you're currently experiencing energy loss and blocks, and it's connected to creativity as well as the likes of depression or the energies of grief. So when you're working with Archangel Zadkiel, he's going to help to clear trauma energies and memories. What's that noise? So is that all right to carry on?
Yes, I'm not
Laura?
sure.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
Oh, okay, sorry. So Archangel Zadkiel, the violet frequency, is going to help you to clear trauma energies and memories connected to the grief you've been experiencing, which automatically blocks or weakens the aura. Okay? And maybe the frequency of the angels are interfering here with the noise. But so you basically want to ask or imagine, visualize yourself being immersed in the violet light of God. And you want to ask God to clear you of trauma energies and memories connected to the grief you've experienced and the problems within your relationship, and helping you to let go of what no longer serves you and to restore harmony, flow and balance back to your life. And if you work with a violet light frequency to do this, and it's God's grace, mercy, forgiveness, transformation, you'll soon move out of those low patterns. Now, it helps you to grieve in the time that you need to grieve, because everybody's different, but it'll help to support you so that you can feel stronger and more motivated to move forward in your life, where you're not staying stuck and just repeating the same patterns, or where life isn't blooming or growing, or maybe you're not, maybe you're just stuck in the routine and you feel bored, or life's not flourishing for you. And it's just to do with energetic blockages, and divine light clears that. So you specifically do need the violet divine light frequency. You don't even need to remember the name Zadkiel, because the angel's connected to the violet light. What you need to remember is the violet light of God. So once you remember that, and you're asking for the light to clear you and to help restore balance to your soul, because it also affects, when, if these blockages persist, it can also irritate things like cause problems with digestion or irritable bowel. So if you've been experiencing any of that, or lower back pain, the violet light is going to help to ease those symptoms as well. So it actually helps to support physical energies, and it'll help to ease those symptoms as well.
Beautiful. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you very much, Donna. I really hope that helps you. And further, check out some of the information on Joanne's website. It's really wonderful. I would also like to bring on our next caller, which is area code 347. Hi, can you tell me your name, please?
Hi, my name is Katie.
Hey, Katie, welcome.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure.
Katie, how can I help you?
I am trying to attract some things in my life, and really want to get married and have kids. And I'm also doing a business. I'm wondering what's going. How can I attract that, or how can I get help with that, or what? I'm just wondering, why am I not attracting it?
Okay, so if you're not attracting it, there's only one reason, because God wants to give you everything. God wants you to be happy. And when I talk about God, I'm talking about ultimate love, ultimate truth, ultimate power. So God wants you to have all that. So there's only one thing that's stopping it, and that's resistance. So resistance is always at an energetic level, okay? So the resistance in your aura, which means that you haven't got enough light or power in your aura at this time to create it. It doesn't mean you're not creating it. You're still creating it. It's just delayed. It's delayed from happening. What you want to do is speed it up by uncovering those blockages to be able to, bring your manifestations into your life. So the angels that you need to work with, or the divine light frequencies, because you don't need to remember their name, is the rose pink divine light frequency of Archangel Michael, which is connected to your heart chakra. First of all, we'll discuss love, right? Because you are on about relationships and business. So they both go hand in hand, because it's the law, it's the spiritual law of giving and receiving. So there's trauma, energies, and memories that's going to be needed to be cleared from you on a relationship point of view that would maybe suppress you from not wanting to feel hurt again in your next relationship like you maybe previously experienced before. So maybe holding back a bit because of the trauma you've experienced before, or the loss, or the upset, or being treated unfairly in some way. It's just a form of protection from your soul to stop you repeat it. But these can even be on a past life connection with you. So you're going to be clearing with the rose pink divine light frequencies any trauma, energies, and memories that are interfering with your ability to create or attract the relationship of your heart's desires. But the most important is the giving and receiving. So you're probably giving but not opening to receive, okay? So to be able to receive more, you would need to accept. You would need to accept the love that God. So there would be issues of worthiness, okay? If you're not receiving what you want, there would be unconscious blockages in your mental energy to do with not deserving, feeling of not deserving, or you're not feeling good enough, or you're not worthy, or feeling disconnected from your main support system, which is God, the universe, who provides for you. So then you would, the brilliant working with the rose pink light, because that's going to help to clear those underlying blocks. The affirmations that you need to do are, I deserve, I am good enough, I am open to all the goodness that God is bringing me. I am ready to receive, I am willing to receive. And it's basically balancing the giving and receiving. So then to be able to draw it into you quickly, then start giving in ways where you give from your heart. It doesn't have to be financial, but whatever you do when you give, you're fully committed in your heart energy to do it, because then you are clearing blockages and opening your heart. When you expand your heart energy, your vibration is instantly going to elevate, which means you are now speeding up your light frequency to attract and create what you need. This is also helping with your business and finances, because it's the green frequency you need and the pink frequency, and they both connected to the heart chakra. This can affect when you're really stressed about not getting what you want. It can interfere with your immune system, with autoimmune diseases, or with your chest, or with shoulder aches or pains up there. and problems with your arms sometimes on the right-hand side especially, because like you said, your ability to give is great, but you need to open the flow to receive. And it's just underlying blockages. And the rose pink light and affirmations are going to really help you to boost your power, your creative power, so you can attract and create what you want.
Okay.
Archangel Samuel, remember Archangel Samuel, the rose. You want to work with the heart chakra. That's the one. That's the answer for you to be able to receive your blessings.
Got it. Oh, thank you. This is so. You were right on. I have had issues with receiving, and I definitely say affirmations, but I definitely will add. I'm willing to receive and add the pink light and ask Archangel Samuel to work with me.
Yeah, and you're asking for you're going to tell God that you are aware that you know that He wants you to have all the good things, because He's not holding you back, or the divine power isn't holding you back. It's just resistance. So you're specifically telling the universe you are open to receiving good things, and then whatever you only do it from the heart. If your heart's not in it, it's just going to cause resistance. So when you give something, whether you give a compliment or whether you give somebody a financial blessing or whether you give a treatment of some kind or service of some kind, you're doing it with an open heart to specifically bless that person, and you are going to receive those blessings back.
Right. Got it. Well, thank you. Thank you both. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye, Katie. Wow, this has been an amazing show, Joanne, and I could have you talk for hours, but unfortunately we can't. But I have learned a lot, and I hope that all of the information that you've shared today has really helped our listeners. So thank you very, very much for being with us today, and I look forward to hopefully doing this again in the future.
Absolutely. I truly enjoyed it, and I'm very grateful that you asked me to come on the show, and I can't thank you enough. So thank you, Laura. Thank you.
Back at you, and a big, big hug.
I feel it.
Oh, good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, every week I give you homework. So how did you do last week? Calling the ones that you care about and reminding them that you love them. Did you all sing the Stevie Wonder song, or did you do it? I hope that made a difference for you. And today's homework, this week's homework, is to do exactly like Joanne was talking, and that's in the nighttime before you fall asleep and in the morning when you wake up, pray to have your energies cleared and restored to peace and joy and harmony. So go ahead and ask for those prayers and ask for that guidance and support, and I know it will make a big difference in your light and will lighten the load and open up your abilities to create, your abilities to heal, your abilities to see and connect with the divine, and just have a much brighter light and much brighter and bigger things in your life. So that's your homework assignment. Cut cords and pray to clear energies and be restored to peace, joy, and harmony. And my dog is agreeing with this 100%, as you can hear. So thanks, everybody. I look forward to talking to you next week. Thank you, Joanne Brocas. You can reach her at joannebrocas.com, which is Joanne with an JoanneBrocas.com. And you can always reach me at Laura@AngelsAndHealingLight. So wishing you all many blessings, and oh my goodness, for those of you in the cold, stay warm. Until next week, bye.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show.